start this review off, I must say that compared to previous entries in the Pokemon series, Pokemon Sun and Moon feel alive and present some of the highest quality within the series. You play as a new trainer who just moved from Kanto to the Alola region, a tropical region inspired by Hawaii that is split up into 4 islands. Instead of completing the standard 8 gym challenge that Pokemon is known for, you have to take on the Island Challenge, which involves solving a puzzle or finding something for a trial captain. Once you solve the puzzle, you have to battle a totem Pokemon, which is a wild Pokemon to aid the trial captain within their trial. The trial captains are scattered across the 4 islands, and defeating them earns you a Z Crystal. Z Crystals are a new mechanic, and if a Pokemon holds one, they can unleash the power of a very strong move. After you beat every trial captain on an island, you are able to take on the Island Kahuna in a battle. The Island Challenge is a breath of fresh air for the Pokemon series, and I think it was something that the series needed. I do have to say that it feels pretty awkward not facing the trial captains in battle and instead facing the totem Pokemon. Overall, I enjoyed the Island Challenge and the sheer amount of trial captains and Island Kahunas combined, but I wouldn't mind if the next generation of Pokemon went back to the gym battles. The story follows your trainer on the Island Challenge, and throughout the way you learn more about Lily and her mysterious bag, the Pokemon gang known as Team Skull, and the organization known as the Aether Foundation. Pokemon Sun and Moon easily has the best story in the entire Pokemon series. Game Freak has crafted a much stronger narrative this time around, and it shows from the dialogue and is represented with fantastic cutscenes. This time around, the story feels more like a story you'd see in other RPGs or an anime series, and this was a push in the right direction for Game Freak. The trial captains and Island Kahunas are not forgotten after being beaten and show up throughout the journey, which is great. The characters in the world develop and work so well. While following the journey of these characters, I felt attached to them and loved seeing their changes. The attention to detail in Pokemon Sun and Moon is great. While I have high praise for the story, it is not perfect. With this well-crafted story came a very slow intro, as it takes quite a while to receive your starter Pokemon. When the game has emotional moments, characters will react to this, but the main character lacks facial emotions in these scenes, and I wish Game Freak took more control of the main character and made them stand out as the other characters do in these cutscenes and within the story. Another complaint is that once the game concludes, it does not feel like a complete conclusion. With the way that the story went in this game, it felt like Game Freak could have included more. You may be able to predict where the story goes, but even then there are some good plot twists within the story. The story took me around 36 hours to complete, which is not too long. This may not be the highest quality story, but it is a good story for Pokemon. The graphics are as good as Pokemon is going to get on the 3DS and new 3DS, as the game lags in double battles, battles with totem Pokemon, and the new 4-player Battle Royale. While the 3DS hardware is old, this problem should not be ignored. During my second totem Pokemon battle, my original 3DS paused completely before showing my Pokemon's attack on screen. I think Game Freak has perfected their style of Pokemon with the fully sized trainers on screen instead of the chibi-like trainers from Pokemon X and Y. The battles are the same classic Pokemon action. Mega Evolution takes a step back in Sun and Moon to give the Z moves time to shine. The Z moves are a welcomed addition to the series and keep battles fresh. Another thing I liked about the Z moves was that more trainers had them rather than just the story important ones. Mega Evolution felt rare in the previous games, whereas Z moves are more common. There is a new feature in the battle menu which tells you which moves are effective against a Pokemon that you have met before, and it's a really good feature to help out new players and those who have not memorized the type chart. While Pokemon has been quite easy within its last few entries, the trials in Sun and Moon were a mixed bag for me. Some of them were easy and others were hard. As with all Pokemon games, battles come down to typing and crafting a good team. My team lacked types, which led to some problems. The game is pretty easy in the beginning, but it may surprise you later on. HMs have been replaced by a feature known as Pokeride. Throughout your journey, you will gain access to Pokemon that you can call to assist you, such as Charizard for flying from island to island, and Tauros to break boulders. This feature is great and makes it so that you don't have to waste a move slot for an HM move. While I like this feature, I would not mind if it lived on in the series alongside HM moves. The Battle Royale is a new battle system in which 4 trainers fight at once. This feature was a big disappointment as it ends as soon as one of the 4 trainers loses. In my opinion, the battle should have ended when 1 trainer was left. There are only 80 new Pokemon in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and that's a low number. Game Freak also took older Pokemon from Kanto and gave them new typing. The forms of these Pokemon are known as Alola forms, and it was nice to see such a unique change, but it is very noticeable that Pokemon Sun and Moon do not have a lot of new Pokemon. It almost felt like the Alola forms were made to supplement this low number of new Pokemon. Overall, Pokemon Sun and Moon are the best games in the series, and I still stick to that feeling over a year later. The story is the best that Pokemon has to offer. It feels inspired by long RPG stories and anime. The characters felt alive, the world felt alive, and the game itself felt alive. The characters they made this time were so great that I thought Pokemon Sun and Moon needed a direct sequel. The cutscenes are a welcomed addition for the Pokemon series, but I wish they had voice acting in them. The new Z moves keep the battles from feeling completely like the older games in the series, and the difficulty of this game does pick up later, and that was also a great addition. Pokemon Sun and Moon was a game that tried a lot of new things for the Pokemon franchise. While some ideas worked, others need more refinement, and I hope to see that in later entries. Too much of the game's plot and other information was spoiled in trailers and all the news released for the games. Even with my complaints, I think Game Freak outdid themselves with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Surmo11. See you next time, and peace out.